Welcome to a new episode of World Stories. We'll be taking you on an exciting journey all over the world, full of very strange fun facts and stories in our journey this week. We'll know more about the Sri Lankan culture through dances. We'll take you to Brazil and dazzle you with amazing samba carnivals. Have you ever been to a mass baptism ceremony? Let's go attend one together. This and much more exciting stories in a journey around the world. Fasten your seatbelts. As part of the Spring of Culture, one of the most celebrated Sri Lankan dance companies, the Chana Apuli Performing Arts Foundation, have performed in Bahrain. They're specialized in dances of the Kandyan tradition, along with a unique style that refers to a body language based on a standing position known as Tribanga. A fusion of traditional drum patterns are incorporated into this lively performance. Let's go to know more about it. We have with us here Chana Apuli, the founder of the Chana Apuli Arts Foundation. He'll tell us more how they started and why he chose Sri Lankan traditional dance in particular.
Well, we started in 1989. That's when we started, and there's a lot of traditional dancing, and I wanted to break away. I used sports music and got sports movement and got into dance, and then I twisted the dance and adapted to today's stage.
Commencing their day by paying homage to the sun, the people of the island work the fertile soil that nourishes an entire nation. Ancient kings regarded the soil as a giver, a life, and fed it through intricate man-made waterways and great lakes.
Dance, you adopt the concept of body language. Please explain it to our audience.
Well, when it comes to body language, I was actually, like earlier I was saying, was stuck in the tradition. But what can you do for my body? So I knew I had done sports. So there I started moving, so going to raga, table tennis, and doing all these movements and adapt it into our tradition and give it different flavors.
For how long they should train to be that good?
It depends on their talent. Some takes 10 years, some take 5 years, some go for 20. It depends on the talent. They have different talents, different skill talents, the skill talents are very different, traditional talents, beauty, everything counts into it. So it's their talent, how they come into it.
Every artist has a message. What's the message that you want to send out to the world?
Well, Sri Lanka has a very rich culture. The movement is very rich, and I'm inviting every single person to please come to a beautiful island. It's a pearl of the Indian Ocean, and it's wonderful.
So do you think we can have a collaboration between like Bahraini dancers, for example, or Bahraini art and Sri Lankan art?
Dance is a universal language you can always incorporate, and there's so much of harmony in between both. You can gel together with the drum patterns and the harmony, the string, the music, everything is, art is lovely, art is energy, art is love, art is romance, art is everything.
The people of the island nation sought medicine and healing from Mother Nature. Healing rituals were performed to cleanse the body and mind of impurities through the recital of spiritual chants called slokas.
We're now here with the performers with their beautiful costumes, unbelievably beautiful. Tell me about your costume today, please.
So I'm representing my country. Our country is Sri Lanka, and I am the pearl of the Indian Ocean. And so that's why I'm dressed in all pearls, and I have a customized headdress for the costume, and each of them represent different characters. So this is a folk costume. She is representing a queen because we have a history of 2,500 years. So we've had a lot of queens in Sri Lanka. And he's a king. And also she represents the multi-nationalities that's there in our country. So yeah, that's how it is.
So is this what you do full-time, all of you guys, or is it just a hobby?
No, we are all full-time dancers, we're performers, and we are proud to be a part of the foundation because we get to travel around the world. We get to, meet different people, different nationalities, we get to see different cultures, different dances. So I think it's a blessing for us to be a part of the foundation.
So tell me about this experience. You're performing all around the world. So do you discover something new in each country? How does it feel, like always performing to different people, different cultures?
It feels lovely. I don't have words to express how what the feeling is, but we've been traveling around the world and we've been meeting different people and different performers, and it's a nice feeling because we see them appreciating us at that moment itself after we perform. So I think that's a blessing, and I think we are honestly very lucky because most of the people don't get this chance, and especially we are very happy to be here in Bahrain because we love all the people. They're very humble and loving the hospitality, and it's a beautiful country, and surely wanting to come back here again. This is pure traditional Kandyan dance costume, and it's made of pure silver, and it has 108 knots everywhere, which pressures the pressure points, and it has a lot of meaning to that costume, and it has your birthstone right in front of your forehead, so that is the most famous and the purest and the most traditional dance costume of Sri Lanka. It's similar to a king's costume. It came from long time ago, 2,500 years ago, so it came from that age. So it's basically similar to a king's costume. We usually think that kings wore things like that, very rich costumes, so it's similar to something like that.
So do they represent different regions?
In some items, yes, they do. The traditional costume I just spoke to you about, it's from the hill countryside of Sri Lanka, and we also have another costume which is called the Tilmi costume, which is from the low countryside, and the folk style is obviously from the folk regions of the country.
So the dance group told me there is something that they want to tell Bahrain.
Yes, are you ready? Sri Lanka loves Bahrain.
Bahrain loves Sri Lanka too. Some of Brazil's top samba schools performed as part of the Carnival Parade in Rio de Janeiro. It's the first of a two-night competition where dancers, musicians and artists show the judges, the public and the global television audience what each samba school has to offer. Nice! The parade, which began with the national anthem, is more than just a dance competition. It's also used to highlight important social issues in Brazil, such as religious intolerance, racism, and violence. Each of the samba schools were judged on 10 categories, from the quality of their drummers to the beauty of their costumes and floats. It's the world's biggest carnival for a good reason. A dental brand is embracing artificial intelligence with its new toothbrush, the IO, which aims to help users get cleaner teeth, starting with a new magnetic drive system. The IO comes with a new smart sensor letting users know if they're brushing too hard. An interactive display counts up to the dentist's recommended 2-minute brush and even smiles when the job is done. It has used 3D tracking and AI recognition to accurately track how a user is brushing their teeth across 6 zones of the mouth. That information is stored in a Bluetooth-connected smartphone app, which gives users greater insight into their dental care.
Give you a diary, it will give you the history. You can even define some journeys for you. So if you want to set for yourself, let's say you have gum issues or you want to have whiter teeth, you define a goal and the app really takes you by the hand, very nice, and then gives you the right tools at hand to kind of go to that goal and also gets regular checkbacks. And at the end, 30 days, 20 days, however you long set the goal, you're going to see a nice improvement.
Knowing more about each other brings us closer. Now we'll share with you the steps of baptizing a baby in the Orthodox Christian way. More than 500 babies have been baptized in a mass ceremony in Georgia. The infants were also given the honor of becoming godchildren to the country's patriarch, Leo II. A few dips into the water and a few tears, and this baby begins his journey in the Orthodox Christian faith. The church is filled with tears, laughter, buckets of water, priests, babies, and their godparents for the mass ceremony. And as an extra incentive to embrace the religion, these children will get a special godparent, Georgia's Patriarch Leo II. He has taken on this role for thousands of babies since 2007 in an effort to boost birth rates. According to country statistics department, Georgia had the highest birth rate in 9 years, and the birth rate has not dipped since then, boosting Georgia's population of 3.7 million. More than 40,000 babies have been baptized under this initiative, with mass ceremonies like this one taking place at least 4 times a year. Not only that, parents from across Georgia traveled there to have their babies baptized. The more we learn, the more we realize how little we know about the world. Let's explore some interesting and entertaining facts to twist your brain and tickle your curiosity. A lion's mane is there for a reason besides the great looks. Believe it or not, the coloration of the mane directly correlates with his health and vigor. The darker and fuller the mane, the stronger and more attractive is the lion. We might think of people with black belts as experts in martial arts, but the word used for their ranking in Japanese, shoden, can be broken down and translated to first step. In other words, you've mastered the basics and now you're ready to actually learn. Dutch police carry teddy bears with them on the job. Not for them, of course, but in case they need to help out a traumatized child to deal with the shock of a car crash. How thoughtful. Polar bears are not white. Their fur is actually see-through, but it takes on a white color because of its hollow like a straw structure, allowing light to scatter inside. So when the bears stand in the sun, all the light bounces off, making it look white. A sustainable fashion trade fair has opened on the sidelines of Berlin Fashion Week. Jackets made from ocean plastics, shoes made out of recycled materials, and t-shirts made with a coffee ground are some of the products being shown, where all brands need to be certified as sustainable. Fashion for the environmentally diligent. This industry is often accused of being far from sustainable and environmentally friendly. But here at this fashion trade fair in Berlin, companies are showing their sustainable alternatives to mainstream fashion world. All the clothes and shoes are made from mostly recycled or sustainable materials. The jackets, for example, are made from plastics that have been removed from the sea outside of Spain. Portuguese company is showing its range of shoes made from industrial plastic waste. One boot also has a near-field communication NFC chip. When you hold a smartphone to the heel, a website will open that explains where the materials for the shoes originated. And one new product is a t-shirt made with a mix of cotton and fiber from coffee ground. Portuguese company is showing footwear made from materials like cork. But its latest product is a shoe that incorporates textiles from car seats. Awesome! The fashion and textiles industry has a larger carbon footprint than the airline industry. Can you believe it?
We have the technology ready, we are able to do it, we are able to produce recycled shoes with good quality and with good design that are attractive to people.
A great initiative at the right time. As we all know, demand for surgical masks has soared in Hong Kong and many places as people seek to protect themselves from the spread of the coronavirus. Now volunteers in Hong Kong are making reusable masks out of simple materials to give to medical workers due to a shortage of surgical masks, or even to normal people. They hope to produce more than 400 fabric masks, but production is still slow. They have already delivered some to a collection of NGOs in Hong Kong, and the NGOs will distribute them to people soon. Hats off! We all have our blunt moments when people ask for help and for some reason, you just simply can't think straight, right? Let's check out this video from social media. With this, we have arrived at our last station. If you have any suggestions of things that you want us to cover or even social media videos that you want us to share, please send it to the email listed below. Looking forward to hearing from you. Goodbye and see you next week with new facts, journeys, and world stories.